Welcome back. Today, we're diving headfirst into episode 3 of the Shiunji Family Children, a show where the family tree is more tangled than your last relationship. Buckle up, because this episode is a roller coaster of emotional trauma, questionable sibling dynamics, and enough plot twists to make your head spin. Arata starts his day with a casual good morning to Kotono. Just a simple greeting, right? Wrong? This is anime, where even a good morning is laced with unspoken tension and unresolved feelings. Arata's internal monologue reveals he's been avoiding Kotono since the incident. You know, the one that made us all question the show's genre. Enter Sia, the self-proclaimed cute sister, who demands Arata address her in an equally cute manner. Because nothing says sibling bonding like forced pet names and emotional manipulation. At school, Arata spots his crush and does what any self-respecting protagonist would do. He hides, okay? Ever the supportive twin mocks him for not confessing, especially since the girl already has a boyfriend. Classic Arata, rejected before he even tries. Meanwhile, Oka's classmates are swooning over Arata's physique and demeanor. Oka warns them off, painting him as a narcissistic gym rat with a sibling obsession. Yet, her words sound more like backhanded compliments than genuine warnings. Suspicious? Absolutely. The two continue wandering the park, still abandoned like the unwanted side characters they are. They grab some sad leftover food at the food court, because nothing screams birthday celebration like cold fries and existential dread. While munching, Banri decides it's time for some deep emotional trauma, casually bringing up how weird it must feel for Arata to suddenly find out they're not really siblings. You know, just normal first date conversation. Arata, caught between his survival instincts and polite awkwardness, mutters something vague because nothing says I'm fine like bottling up all your emotions. Banri, ever the walking, talking serotonin grenade, reminisces about the good old days when Arata used to cry to her every time Uke bullied him. Arata is thrilled to be reminded of his childhood humiliation in the middle of a crowded amusement park. Real glow-up energy. Just when things are getting dangerously sentimental, a random little girl crashes the conversation, because God forbid Arata catch a break for once. Banri, unshaken, promises that she'll always protect Arata, even though, judging by how often he falls over nothing, maybe she should invest in a helmet for him first. Later, after an emotional flashback montage, because no enemy is complete without childhood trauma, playing over soft piano music, Arata finally has a big main character moment, Tim, and promises to protect Banri too. Character development unlocked. Protective little brother dotes. The missing siblings finally resurface, looking way too smug for people who abandoned their own blood at a theme park. Arata, soaking wet because why not, is roasted alive by the entire group because sibling love bullying at maximum efficiency. Then comes the secret council of sisters scene. Okay, Nanami, Shion, and Sayo huddle together like a conspiracy theorist club. They start dropping bombs. Sayo reveals she tested Arata to see if he would react inappropriately after learning they weren't blood related. Spoiler, he passed, barely. Cue immediate mass confusion, shock, and probably a couple of existential crises. The chaos escalates when Uke admits she also pulled some wild stunts back in the day to test Arata's feelings. Because what better way to celebrate finding out you're not blood relatives than emotionally torturing your former brother? Meanwhile, Arata remains blissfully unaware that his entire family is secretly plotting whether to turn his life into a romance anime or a psychological horror movie. Finally, as if things weren't complicated enough, the group votes to drag Arata into a haunted house. You know, because being emotionally haunted by your fake sisters isn't enough, now he gets to be physically haunted too. As fireworks light up the night sky, Arata reflects on the day's events and the bombshell revelation. Despite the chaos, he resolves to maintain the bonds with his siblings, blood related or not, in a twist that surprises absolutely no one. Oka finally confesses her feelings to Arata, throwing a grenade right into the middle of their already questionable sibling dynamic. Her words are direct, unflinching, a bold declaration that blurs the lines between family and something much more complicated. Arata, blindsided and completely unprepared, stands frozen, unable to process what just happened. His mind races, but no words come out. For a moment, time itself seems to stop. the weight of Oka's confession hanging heavy in the air. This shocking revelation doesn't just shake Arata, it threatens to change everything between them. Their once simple, if slightly chaotic, relationship teeters on the edge of something deeper, something far more dangerous. And with the rest of the family lurking just around the corner, the fallout from Oka's confession is only just beginning. And there you have it, episode 3 of the Shiunji Family Children, a masterclass in blurring the lines between familial love and romantic tension. If you thought your family was complicated, think again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts on this episode. What do you think will happen next? Will Arata reciprocate Oke's feelings? Will the family ever find a semblance of normalcy? Probably not, but we'll be here to dissect every moment. Until next time, stay sane, and remember, in anime, nothing is ever as it seems.